NCAA on trial part 2. We all know they're frauds. It's time to expose them. They're being exposed by the FBI probe, but they haven't gotten what the raspy voice kids want to give them. They just got a taste. I'm Brandon Phoenix, a.k.a. I Also Hate Pitt, joined by Jeremy J.N. Fiend Phoenix. We are brought to you by Sandwich U and Shrinkables.
Shrinkables!
So we want to talk about what's going on in the NCAA. Basically, are you surprised in any way that people are paying players, that the AAU system is dirty, that the blue bloods and the top of college basketball, especially with these one and dones, are not on the up and up? Yeah, us either. Everyone knew they were cheating. We all know they're going through these loopholes. We all know that there are bagmen. We all know that there are arrangements. It's just now it's being brought to the light. Now everybody can see. In this dirty little secret that the NCAA, led by Mark Emmert, have ignored for decades, possibly, if not longer, is being made important and public and concerning. It cannot be ignored anymore. It has to be dealt with. And in all truth, it's one thing to know something, it's another thing to prove it. The FBI has the ability to use wiretaps and all kinds of other powers that the NCAA does not have. But the NCAA could have done something, and they haven't. They didn't with UNC. They didn't with Louisville initially. They haven't with Baylor. Mind you, this is something people forget with Baylor. And this is not just basketball, it's football too. People keep talking about how bad this scandal is, but you have to remember, Baylor literally had a murder scandal. A player murdered another player. The head coach covered it up by saying it was drug related when it was not. That happened. And what kind of penalty did Baylor get out of that? Then Baylor becomes Rape U. And what kind of penalty did Baylor get out of that? Penn State commits a terrible atrocity from top levels on down. They get almost what you would call the death penalty, allowing players to transfer, all kinds of issues. And here we are celebrating them already. Back in the Rose Bowl like nothing ever happened. James Franklin, doing a stellar job recruiting, has got them to the pinnacle of the Big Ten.
So how do you feel? How do you feel on I can't remember if it's PTI or if it's on Dan Le Batard show. They always say something or nothing. Now, we know it's going to be something because there's big things coming and you know, you can see everybody loading up. I'm talking about for you. When this revelation was dropped, you look at these teams who have done it. Some teams haven't done it. Is this something or nothing to you?
This is something.
Okay.
It's something not because I'm morally pious. I think the steroid guys should be in the Hall of Fame if they were Hall of Famers. Barry Bonds should be in.
Amen. Yes.
Okay? I'm not one of these moral high ground people. I'm just not. And one of the things I frequently say is, please just don't come digging in Morgantown. All right? I don't know where any bodies are buried, but it's a major college program, and I'm sure there's dirt just because there's dirt everywhere.
I just feel like when I listen to things like this story breaks, and it feels like obviously there's things there's going to be big repercussions, but I listen to the media, and the media isn't killing people. Matter of fact, I heard Stan Van Gundy is not media, but I heard him come out and defend and talk about how these coaches are put in bad positions because of the NCAA.
And they are.
And you hear fan bases like, I don't feel the outrage. I don't feel people talking about let's strip them of everything. Like, I don't feel that. I guess it's a word. I don't feel that passionate outrage on this subject.
I think I think it's because of something you mentioned. No, you're right.
And that's what I'm getting to.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of memes, there's a lot of people making fun.
But there's no outrage.
But I think it's because nobody's surprised. We all knew this was happening.
But here's the thing. You said you're not surprised. They all knew this was happening, and this is what I point to. If this would have been, all right, I'm going to take the biggest target of them all. If no other team was investigated, and this investigation would have broke on ESPN, John Calipari has 4 players who are being investigated. There'd have been rage. There'd have been take down their banners, take their wins. So do you feel like because this engulfs so many Hall of Fame coaches, part of the 800 club, that now these fan bases are saying, well, do you feel like it's watered down? Like it's not going to be as bad because there's so many?
That's the point you made that I thought was interesting. If this was Coach Cal on the phone
He'd be
talking
done.
$100,000 payments on a wiretap, it would be Coitons, okay?
No, 20 minutes per hour, every run of every news. I'm not talking about every sports news. I'm talking about CNN.
Fox News, MSNBC, all of them.
Be all over everything.
I do think that it waters it down when everybody's involved because it makes it a bigger issue and you're not just the problem child, it's a systemic issue. I think that's what we're seeing.
I got you.
I think the outrage is more at the NCAA and its structure than it is at individuals who are operating outside of the confines of that structure.
No, that's a good point.
And I really think that's what it is. One thing that I object to, it's something that Colin Cowherd, who, if you know anything about how much I love sports radio, Colin Cowherd is my all-time favorite sports radio person. I do not listen to him anymore. Since he left ESPN, I just lost track of him, and then he's been a little bit crazier than I remember. That said, Colin made a strong point. He said, people keep saying that everyone's doing it. And he said, no, not everyone is doing it. And I love the fact that he made it clear not everyone is doing it. Chief, in my mind, is Bobby Huggins. That's Mr. 841 wins, Bobby Huggins.
No, and that's what I was going to say. I was like, for me, am I outraged? No. Am I, these people need to be? No. But you know what I love? I smile a little bit, and because my team's not implicated into it, all for their heads. These guys can't cheat on our watch. Are you serious? Are we going to sit around and do nothing? No, the truth is, I don't really feel like that.
But it's true. 841 wins for Bobby Huggins. Two Final Fours for Bobby Huggins. I mean, how many times did he take all of these teams to NCAA tournaments? Even the teams who were nothing, Bobby Huggins built them into something.
And how does he have more Coach of the Year awards? That's what
he
I'm talking
doesn't get
about.
Coach of the Year
you get
awards.
All the 5 chips, you all get all the blue bloods. He takes these kids, he develops them. That's part of coaching. So when his team's winning, how does he not? He changes the whole philosophy and goes to press. I know that's outside of what we're talking about. I'm just saying.
It's real. It's the moral character is the issue.
And then
when
add
he was
this
being
into
maligned, when he was being questioned, when he was being impugned for not getting big-time recruits, and I will admit, I was one of the people saying, why can't Bobby Huggins bring top 100 recruits to West Virginia? Why can't he get McDonald's All-Americans? I didn't understand. When I figured out, when I was told, and I was told this long before this probe came out, I was told in confidentiality that he has been basically blackballed by the AAU coaches and in operations because he wouldn't play their game, then I understood why he operated the way he did. I understood why he made the adjustments the way that he did. And I don't think he gets enough credit, but I don't want to be a homer as a Mountaineer fan.
Yeah.
I want to give credit other places. Jay Wright at Villanova.
No. And you could give props for people. Oh, no, go ahead. Give the props.
I just want to give props. Jay Wright at Villanova. Is Jay Wright implicated? Do you see him on the FBI's radar? Do you hear him on any wiretaps? Is he being included in this investigation in any way? The answer is no.
And you know the answer would be?
The best dressed man in college basketball, the national championship winning Jay Wright, the guy who only has one top 20 recruiting class in the most recent future, that guy is not implicated. You know who else is not implicated?
Drop it.
Mark Few at Gonzaga. Mark Few took this little no-name university and built it into what we all now love and respect. Whether you love it from afar or you love it as a fan, Mark Few is clean. And he's not been implicated in this investigation. He's not been chased down or haunted by the NCAA. Mark Few has done it the right way. Jay Wright has done it the right way. Bob Huggins has done it the right way. And that's important to remember. There are coaches who respect the game, who respect the craft, and even though there's all kinds of pressure to cheat, all kinds of reasons to cheat because of the ridiculousness, the ridiculous restrictions of the NCAA, they're not cheating. And for people who think this is just a basketball problem, I will concede that because of the AAU, I think basketball is worse. Because of the volume of players in college football, I think it makes it less likely that you're going to have the cheating on the scale that you do. But if you think college football is clean, you are out of your mind. College football is buoyed in large part by its popularity.
Who thinks college football's clean? You talking?
Well, there was somebody. I saw Paul Feinbaum say, "Is college football next?" What do you think, Paul? The answer is, I don't know if they're next, but their hands are dirty. We all know about the bagmen in the SEC, and I'm not an SEC hater. I really am not. But come on. Alabama, they got a barbershop now. I saw that. It was fresh. You know, if it was me, I'd be really interested in that barbershop. I like to stay clean, all right? There are the Taj Mahal facilities, Ohio State, USC. Texas is trying to climb back into that race. But you're not going to make me believe they're not paying kids because the kids can't get paid. And if you're trying to get leverage, if you're trying to get one up on somebody, the way to do it is to pay somebody. I think the connection to the NFL, the fact that it's a de facto farm system, the importance of college football to the NFL and to the American public, I think will prevent what we're seeing happening in college basketball. But it doesn't mean it's not happening.
And the bottom line is this: when you have something that's producing this much money, billions of dollars,
With a B.
People are cutting corners and downright cutting half the page off. They just cutting corners.
Well, like they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, that's not just a Mountaineer slogan. Where there's a will, there's a way. And people want to win. Boosters want to win. Student bodies and donors and even state senators and other legislators, they want to win.
This is true. They want to win. I'm going to go back to college basketball for a second. Here's the thing. There's a bunch of people who, are implicated in this. I remember, hearing few people say, well, our guy took some money before he actually came to the school. The bottom line is this. There's levels to this. Some people, I think, will get caught up. Some people are going to get off. Some people may have had more minor infractions. But Sean Miller...
Sean Miller.
He's done. He is done. He is done. When it all
wondered why
Sean by yourself in a boat. You ain't got no lifeboat. Everybody else got off the Titanic, and here's Sean Miller swimming by himself because ain't nobody throwing him a lifeline. He's done. Stick a fork in him. You can't be on a wiretap. Talk like they say. You always have middlemen. This dude gonna get on allegedly. Excuse me. It's all allegedly.
Like somebody said, did you never watch Sopranos? Did you never watch Goodfellas?
Come on now.
Never talk on the phone.
No.
Now I know why you sweat so much, Sean. You've been nervous this whole time. You knew what was coming.
I mean,
that don't make no sense. The other thing that doesn't make any sense is how does A.A.M play? If the coach can't play because of the conversation about A.A.M for $100,000, how is A.A.M eligible to play? It doesn't make any sense. And the NCAA is a joke.
And we had a player who suspended for half the year for something that people might consider, allegedly suspended for, that wasn't as major as what we're watching here. $100,000 and the dude plays the next night? Are you kidding me?
Now, do you think, Jeremy, do you believe that if we paid players, do you believe that would fix the cheating problem with money?
No, absolutely not. Because what are you going to do? You're going to set a cap? No matter what, when this much money is involved, there's always going to be somebody. Look. No matter what you do, no matter how you do it, there's somebody bending the rules, taking a step too far, and now they're just call it Sean Miller in it. So Sean Miller probably broke. Everybody's probably looking at Sean Miller so mad right now. Like, really, dude? Really? It probably started with him. There's always going to be somebody taking that extra step, going a little too reckless, because, like I said, there's too much money involved. People want to win, and people want to win because it means money. This is a business. Like we always talk about amateurism. This is a business, a big-time business. You never stop this.
There's only one thing amateur about college sports, and it's the fact that players don't get paid. And don't tell me they get an education. People will start talking to you about how much of an education they get, how much those educations cost. And you're right. That is compensation. But the thing that I repeatedly tell people is that these ideas are mutually exclusive. You can believe that players shouldn't be paid. You're allowed to do that, obviously.
Okay.
You can believe in a free market, in capitalism. You're allowed to do that. You cannot believe that players should not get paid and believe in a free market. Because the way that the college athletics, the NCAA is set up, every university is offering the same thing. They offer you a full ride scholarship, they offer you education, and they can offer you nothing more.
The only thing I'll say is I was making these arguments to one of my bosses, Sean Sales. Big up. And one thing he said is, you don't like it, there's other places you can play. You don't have to play in the NCAA.
That's true. There are
you can
other
go play
places
wherever you
to
want
play.
to.
There are other places to play, but that does not change the fact that college basketball does not operate as a free market. So if you tell me you believe in the free market, if you believe in its values, if you believe in all of the things that people will espouse about the free market, which I'm not telling you whether I'm pro or anti or whatever, I'm not saying that, then you cannot tell me that you believe in not paying players because it is not a free market. Everybody's offering the same thing. That's socialism.
Yeah.
That's communism.
Yeah.
And that's okay if you believe in that too. Just don't tell me you believe in a free market. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't be a hypocrite. Be intellectually honest. All right? So the other thing I say to people is they'll say, well, athletes get their education, all this other stuff. Well, remember when Robert Smith was at Ohio State, the running back? He's now a commentator. He wanted to be a medical doctor. And they told him that he could not because of the course load and because of when the classes were. They interfered with practice. Do you know what comes first in the student athlete? It's not the student.
Point.
It should be called an athlete student.
Yep.
Because your time is dedicated and dictated by your team. And that's fine. Just don't tell me they are students first. It's not true. Not in major sports. Now, you can start talking about the volleyball team or rowing or all those other things. Those people put in work. They work hard. They put in the extra time. But they are not responsible for the same things that the revenue-generating sports are. They're not subjected to the same criticism. They're not subjected to the same media scrutiny. They're not subjected to the same routine or rigors or even donor booster expectations that the revenue-generating sports players are.
And you know...
And I'm not telling you it can't be a springboard for success, because it can. And I'm not telling you that there aren't any benefits, and I'm certainly not... You know, some people go too far and they start calling these kids slaves. They're not slaves. However, it is not a free market, and it is not a fair system if we're being honest about what a free market is. And that's fine.
The one thing...
It's just... Yeah. It's not, I don't think it's sustainable because people are too educated about what options there are. And people are not willing to accept what is being offered in a way that they were in the past.
I think it's funny that this is a little bit different, but I think it's funny when I hear people talking about the education is the most important thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Education is extremely important in life, obviously.
Yes, it is.
But part of being successful, if you gave a lot of people, you know, what is success in your estimation, a lot of people would talk about money, being able to support their family, their kids, their children, to be able to set them up. If they're able to do that when they pass, they consider that success. So you mean to tell me, don't get me wrong, education is extremely important, but a big part of the reason is so to be financially stable. So these kid who's a freshman who decides he wants to go to the NBA and gets $20 million signing bonus, immediately he secured his future and his children's future. Without, like I said, you can always go back. The way I feel is you can always go back.
I feel like $20 million signing bonus is a little bit high, but I understand your point.
I'm just saying you can always go back. I'm not trying to minimize it. I'm just saying if you can get...
No, you can always go back. Vince Carter went back to school. He got his degree. And then the funny thing is when he went back and got his degree, people complained that he missed a game to go walk with his colleagues, with his fellow students to get his degree.
Yeah.
So here he is putting education first, and now you're mad because he did that. The thing I say about education is you have to understand that not everybody has the same aptitudes. Some people are skilled at math. Some people are skilled at English. Some people are orators. Some people are good with their hands, mechanically inclined. And then some people have God-given talent to play sports. Aptitudes matter. So they may not excel in the classroom. It doesn't mean they're lazy. It doesn't even mean they're stupid. It just means that's not their primary aptitude. So why are we limiting them? We don't limit the tennis players who are stars. We don't limit the tennis prodigies, the golf prodigies.
Amen.
If you're a gymnast, can excel, you can go and compete and then sign contracts with Wheaties and whoever else you want to, like your Simone Biles or anybody else. We don't limit those other people in those other areas of life. A concert pianist, a person who plays the violin to an exceptional degree. We don't limit those people because of their age. We don't look at them and tell them they're not ready for success. So why are we doing it with NBA players? NBA-ready players, people we know will be successful at the next level, without question, are going pro. Ben Simmons being a perfect example. All you're doing is setting it up for a guy who knows he's going to be a millionaire in just a matter of months to not go to class. So now his coaches have to fight him. They've got to fudge numbers, or they got to hide stuff, or they got to explain or figure out when we all know what it is. Let's just keep it real. And I'm not telling you paying the players will fix it. I am not telling you that. Everybody will bring up, well, what do you do about Title IX? Or how do you decide who gets paid what? I am not telling you I have all the answers. I'm just telling you the current system we have does not work. It is not fair. And education is not enough compensation if you believe in a free market. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching the Raspy Voice Kids. We want to give a special thanks to Sandwich U, King of the Fat Sandwich, and to Shrinkables. We also want to thank one of our patrons, Jen Wilt. We thank you for your support, and if you would like to become a patron, please click the link in our bio or in the description so you can become a part of the show.